Hello, everyone, and welcome to Portal 64. This is VYTALCast number 42, and today we have a special guest, Memory. And, of course, we have Sunny again. And, alright, so, Memory, where did you want to start today? You said you got a lot of stuff written down. Yeah, oh man, you're ahead on, like, what I was gonna ask. Yeah, also, I wanna, like, appreciate what you have behind you, like the Pikachu and the Smash Brothers poster and all that. So, oh yeah, I see that. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, you got just a hint of headroom, and then like it cuts off at Kirby on the Smash Bros. Poster, and then like just after a beanie. So, oh no, no, it's awesome, man. I love it. Wait, hold on. Wait. For some reason, my desktop audio is messing up. Thank you, Inspector Who, for pointing that out. Why? Okay. Okay, try talking again.
Uh, hello,
Okay,
hello.
now you're on mute. Okay, now it's working.
Oh,
Okay, sorry. Okay, so you started YouTube before you're a Ruby fan.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be a J-pop dancer. I used to like to listen to a lot of Vocaloid. So a lot of my friends would ask me to freestyle and
Cool.
stuff like that. So like after a year of that, then I quit doing that because I never had time to watch anime. I always ask my
Hmm.
friends like I want to get into like because I was missing out on a lot of Dragon Ball, and then like I wanted to get back into Soul Eater, and then like people were asking me have you ever heard of Ruby? And I was asking what's Ruby. So my friend showed me White Trailer first. I don't know why, but I went there first, and
I mean, Weiss
immediately,
is great. So anyway.
yeah. Yeah, so it started at White Trailer, and then I mean, at first I was like, this is really good, and I wanted to see more fight scenes. I was like, so who made this? And when my friend said it was Monty Yum, I bugged the heck out. He was like, oh my god, that's the guy
Oh.
that made Dead Fan. He was like, that's the guy that made Dead Fantasy. So, so yeah, it all started there, and then I mean, I took a break from it because I only saw like the trailers, but I didn't jump on Volume One until after one of my friends told me that apparently Yang killed Tifa in a fight or something, and then after that
What?
I was like,
The death battle. You're talking about the death battle video.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't watch it back then. I just heard that's what happened. I was like, wait,
Okay.
Yang has the power to kill Tifa, and everyone was like, yeah, you should see this movie, this video, and I was like, you know what? I'll watch the video after I watch the anime because I wanted to get to
oh.
understand, the World of
Hmm.
Remnant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make a debate without knowing the facts, about a
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, you don't want to like watch it, see Yang win, and go like, "What the heck? That shouldn't have happened." And then watch it.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna be salty, I want to be salty in the correct way. I need to know what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's when I went through volume one. I loved the first episode, by the way. That was a great introduction to Ray Ruby. Once I
Mm.
saw the scythe come out, it was just like, it looks
The-
so good.
yeah, seeing
So yeah,
Crescent Rose for the first time is like one of the most
it looks
memorable moments for me.
It's legit.
yeah, it's just as soon as it comes out, like, and then she shows her face, it was like that was such a dope. So yeah, and then after that, then I went up to volume two, and then three. I actually I came in during the volume three midway. It was like it was
Okay.
just before Yang broke Mercury's legs.
Oh yeah. So right before the villain episode and the Mercury
Yeah,
fight.
Hmm.
yeah, and then everyone was bugging out that apparently that the show was going downhill because it started getting darker, and so it was just like, but no, I love Ruby, he's
Yeah.
great. It was such a depressing time. A lot of people were feeling the feels. It was such,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and
It oddly enough, like so far, consistently everyone's been saying Volume 3 is their favorite volume.
because it had the most action.
Yeah,
I
most action. Well, also people liked like how there was like actual consequences for the fights, whereas first two
Yeah.
volumes you didn't get that too much.
Yeah. Uh, when it came to the volumes for me, it was just like I mean, first I won't lie to you guys, I was only in the show for the action. I just liked seeing the fighting. Like that's what drew
Yeah.
me. But then as time went on, and then I discovered you guys, reviewing the show and everything. I was like, you know what? I want to understand the World of Remnant better. I don't want to be that guy that's just like, let's see, Yang. Oh, she's the fire type. And then my friend would probably look at me like, she's not a Pokemon, dude. What's wrong with you?
But she
So
so is.
yeah, so I didn't want to go in that way. I wanted to just understand what I was talking about. Like I didn't understand that apparently when you get hit by someone, like let's say if you get hit by a sword,
Mm,
and apparently your aura automatically comes out. But then
yeah.
I looked at the yeah, but then I looked at the further volumes, and apparently you can activate it. So I was like, how does that work? So I don't know. My lore has been getting messed up, so that's why I always consult Jake the One Man Band and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Um, well, as far as like aura, I always compared it to like the energy shield in Halo, on like how you have like the energy shield and then your like health bar in the original Halo, and then it came back for the later ones. But I believe Pyrrha, when she's talking to Jean in Volume One, they had to activate his aura because it wasn't protecting him at all, and like a tree branch left a cut on his face. So it is something that like people had to learn how to activate, and I guess that's what makes like hunters so special. Is I think it might be difficult for a lot of people to do, and that's why not everyone is a superpowered hunter or huntress, and there's like normal people in the World of Remnant as well.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was learning about like aura and stuff, like that's why I was saying earlier, like I was watching a lot of your guys' videos, because you know, I love Ruby, but there are things I get confused on about, especially when it comes to like semblances. Like take Crow for example.
Yeah.
I always wonder about like does that run on aura, or is that just something that happens? So
Yeah.
when I take notes about this, I always ask like I always consult with somebody else. Like what did I ask Hirohige the other day? I didn't get a message back yet,
Hmm.
but I asked about how with Pyrrha, her statement on Ruby's semblance was it was speed,
Yeah.
versus to what Crow said, and said that she can burst into flower petals.
Hmm.
So I was trying to figure out like which one is it? Like is it both because it evolved, or is it something else? What's your take on that?
Well, I believe. Wait, what was that sound? Did did someone
I don't
throw
know.
something?
That
Okay.
No, I
wasn't.
don't know.
Dude, I heard something that sounded like an anime ninja star flying across the room. It went from my right ear to my left ear. I was like, what in the world? Okay. So, for me, from what I understand, and I think it might have been one of Hirohe's videos or someone else's, but
Mhm.
it seems like semblances kind of evolve with
Yeah.
time. Like, and I kind of take it as like, as the person grows as a person, the semblance is representative of them in a sense, and it will grow with them. So I think Ruby, when the show first started and she was all speedy, fast, she was a very energetic, uh, like I don't want to say preteen, but early teens. So she's
Yeah.
all excited and happy about the world, and now she's kind of like defining herself as a person. And as like Lindsay Jones said at RTX 2016, she said she's becoming more womanly, or like
Yeah.
kind of taking care more of her looks. So I think that's kind of why it started to turn more into like flower petal stuff, but she still has
So
that speed.
so it is what Ren said in what was it, volume 5, I think he said this, is that your semblance defines you as a character. So what was happening with Ruby is that as time goes on, as her personality develops, so does her semblance. Is that
I
right?
think
Yeah.
Ren basically said there were different theories about it. Some say your personality defines semblance, some say semblance defines personality. So I don't think anyone really knows. But
Uh,
I also think like your semblance can also grow and evolve as you train it. I think it's not just gonna evolve as you get older or anything like that. I think it's also something you have to physically work with.
okay.
Yeah.
So the more you train on it, actually, before we get off the topic, John's
Okay.
semblance is that confirmed? Just wondering.
As healing, I think
Yeah.
it is. I mean,
I
he
mean,
he
Well,
used to.
it's aura boosting, something like that. I
Oh yeah,
forget what they call it.
aura
so
reinforcement
can
and so.
anyone do that?
You know, I mean, that's kind of the real question. Is like that sounds like something you should just be able to do with aura, but I'm guessing Jean's must be like a very enhanced
Professional.
version of it.
Yeah, because yeah, he said Pyrrha said what'd she say that
he has a lot of
he
it.
has a lot of it,
Yeah.
and so that's probably why. Um,
Mhm.
Actually, now that I have a question, because I'm picking up on contradictions too. Remember when John was fighting that Grim in the first volume?
Yes.
Did his aura was because he did get hit like 3 times? Was that all of it, or was that just like a fraction? Because you saw it was red, so
That his aura turned red.
yeah, on his scroll. So
Oh yeah. Then yeah, he was getting low
Oh,
on his aura level. Like he didn't. I
yeah.
mean, he didn't really know how to use his aura a whole lot, so I can imagine it
that's him in
disappearing
the beginning.
faster. Yeah, and
Yeah, like, he would just go in and like keep trying to attack, like Linda said, so he would forget to monitor his aura to see when it was getting low.
Oh, so he was obviously yeah. In the beginning, you're not gonna know how to fight correctly, so I guess yeah, that was.
Hmm.
oh, and Jean was the rookiest of them all too. Like, like faked transcripts to get into the school, and he's like, I don't know how to fight. Could you like teach me on the roof and all that? So, I mean, Jean was a very special case, I think. Um,
He's gonna
but
get better.
oh yeah, he's getting better and better. I love watching Jean grow. And
Hmm.
speaking of like aura, because you mentioned earlier, like, does it include aura and stuff? Trenton Dixon in the chat said, from his understanding, you need aura to fuel your semblance, and once your aura is down, you can't activate your semblance. And I think along those lines, that is correct. And but in cases of like Crow, I believe his was said it was like passive, so I don't think his necessarily runs a whole lot on aura.
Okay.
So
So it is a
They
passive.
haven't really confirmed anything about that necessarily, but yeah, I kind of agree with you.
yeah, I could have sworn there was a tweet. Hold on, I'm checking the wiki just in case.
Maybe there was a tweet. I have no idea. I miss everything.
Da, da, da. Let's see. So it says, oh, that's not talking. This is just talking about Crow. It's not talking about his semblance yet. Let's see. Semblance. Okay, his semblance does not discriminate on who it affects, which causes him to keep his distance from people. According to Carrie, he can also choose to amplify his semblance when he wishes, in which case it uses aura. So
Oh,
like when he was
Oh,
fighting
that's
Tyrion,
interesting.
because there was a moment when he was fighting Tyrion where he kind of looks like he wanted a little bit of bad luck to happen, and Tyrion fell through the roof.
yeah.
So I guess in moments like that, it will use aura, but outside of combat and he's just walking around town, it's just passively going on a lower level.
Mm.
I have another question. Asking all the questions there.
Okay.
I'm talking about Crow. Remember when Crow jumped up in the air and then slammed down on top of Tyrion with his sword, and then you saw like how the building chipped off a little distance away? Was
Mhm.
that an amplified aura attack?
You know, I think so. Aura could be used to enhance
Because RWBY did something
abilities.
similar too when he was fighting what was that team Abarn?
Auburn.
Auburn, yeah.
Yeah, was that was also an enhanced attack because you saw the fumes rise up from the ground.
Yeah,
Uh
I don't know how to specifically describe that, but honestly, I always thought it was just kind of like that anime fighting trope where like so they hit so hard, but then they just like stop each other, and then all of a sudden off to the side there's some like pressure or something. That's what I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't like an aura attack or any of any sort.
um
Okay.
actually, I'm on the Wikia right now, and for abilities for aura, it's there's like it categorizes it into defense, offense, unlock aura, and healing. And it says for offense, it can be used in moments like Ren in the forest when he's attacking the snake and he's hitting the fang through the eye. He uses aura to enhance
Yeah.
the attack. So,
Gotcha.
so yeah, that. So
Okay,
like the
I'm
moment with Tyrion that and Crow that you mentioned, I would say yes, that was a aura enhanced thing.
Hey, David.
Yes.
It came. It's here.
Oh, the food. Yeah, you go
Yeah.
go do your
Few
thing.
seconds.
I will read from the chat while you're gone. Hey, games and skits. Please no Infinity War spoilers. I saw it last night, but let's be courteous to the fellow viewers in the chat.
I'm seeing it on Sunday.
Oh, also, for those who like to talk about Infinity War, I have added to the Discord a Infinity Spoilers channel, and I believe it is under. I do not want to like. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the Discord channel on my phone just so I don't accidentally exit out of the call. But let's see the server settings. It's just called Portal 64. We have a link in the description of the stream if you want to join our Discord, and there is a channel where you can talk about Infinity War with all the spoilers. And then there's also like the general where we talk about My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and all that. Okay, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. Why would they do that? I ordered like at 7 o'clock. It's 8:16.
Oh man.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know there's a sushi place here in Provo, or well, where I live, where you could order sushi, but it's late night delivery, and they only start delivering like at 8. So
24/7? So late night. 24/7?
No, just late night, like from 8 p.m. to midnight is when they'll deliver. So.
Wow, the latest places do it at is 11 o'clock over here in New York.
Yeah. Hey, Stoic, how you doing? Just saying hello to some of the chat. So, what did you order, by the way?
Simple stuff. White rice with chicken and broccoli.
Oh, okay, that's a good meal. I approve.
Oh, thank you. People tell you to stay off pork, but it's not bad. I like
Yeah.
pork. I think
And we just lost Sunny?
Yeah, Sunny just disappeared. Hello.
Okay, she's coming back. Hey, Sunny.
I did something on accident.
She's like,
okay.
white rice, chicken, and broccoli? No, end this call. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, want me to talk a little bit more about myself?
Oh yeah. Like I want to know like where you got your inspiration for the RWBY and Reactioners ships, like the names, like were you just
Okay. So, funny story.
Spider-Man's in the chat. Sorry.
So, okay. So yesterday, no, it was 3 days ago. I was on RWBY Amino, and I was, considering like drawing Ren and Nora again because I did a ship post a long time ago, and I wanted to redraw them again.
Oh.
And a friend of mine told me, "Oh my gosh, Memory, didn't you tell us on YouTube that you're not a shipper?" And I was like, "I'm not, but I don't mind drawing it." So they're like, "You know what you should do? You should definitely make a ship post." And I was like, "For my 1,000 follower video, I don't think anyone cares about that." He's like, "Just do it. It's gonna be funny."
Oh, dude,
So-
I love shit posts. Like, they're some of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so here's how it started. I told the person no, and then I went to think of ideas for what I wanted to do for my 1,000 follower special, and then out of nowhere this person comes back. I was looking for their name because I wanted to say thank you for this. They shipped me with RWBY and call it Myosotis, and I went to look this up. I was like, what is Myosotis? So apparently it's a flower. It's actually its AKA name is Forget-Me-Nots. It's actually a flower that means something about memories. Yeah, that's what it means. It's a flower that means memories.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I was like, that's not a bad comparison. A flower that means my name, and it's a flower, so it's RWBY. So it was like, it's not a bad name. But I was like, you know what? That was such a good ship name. I'm gonna do this. So. I just went browsing for like a little while and just thought of some names that I can like call you guys. I left so many people out. There was so many people I wanted. There was so many people I wanted to put in that video. I missed Flaming Shark. I actually wanted to do Sunny as well. I had like so much stuff. I have all the stuff written down in my book.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily just turn it into a series. Like, I think the ideas that you could do multiple videos on are some of the best. Cause
I am actually.
Yeah.
I am actually. Yeah. I've already thought of what I want to do from episode 1 to 6. So I have a lot of stuff written down. So I'm a writer. So I like to plan ahead. So I wanted to do Flaming Shark. I wanted to get Lorelei Lee in on this. I had a lot of like people that I wanted to do this with. But I wanted to use this as a test run. So I wanted to only just start with 12 people. See what people think. Well, I wanted everyone's reviews. And it was also nice of the Modern Camera Guy to make a reaction video to it. Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, someone's reacting to it.
Yeah, yeah, I saw he did a reaction video to that. I'm like, wow, that's cool. But then I also like right before you retweeted it, I was like, man, like, is that okay? And then you reacted well to it. I'm like, all right, all right. For me, I always like ask people for permission if I was to do a reaction to their video.
Oh yeah, no problem. If the next episode comes out and you feel obliged to react to it, no, I don't mind. Yeah,
Okay, I'll.
yeah, yeah. That goes for anybody. I don't mind. I'm not like if you look at my channel, I don't put ads on my videos because I'm not a reviewer yet. So
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't believe in putting ads on reactions because I feel like that whole thing is someone else's work. But people do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Well,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times that when we see ads on reaction videos, it might actually be like for RWBY, for instance, it's usually put up by Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth will claim
Yeah,
the
that's
video,
true.
and then Rooster Teeth would monetize the money. So, like, the reactioner doesn't get anything, but Rooster Teeth gets the ad revenue. So, I've had that happen to my videos pretty much every time. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't agree with, like, making money off the reaction videos unless someone, like, donates money to me, then it's like, thanks, you know. But
That sort of.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't feel like with reaction videos you should like monetize it. Like I just hit 1,000. No, whoopsie. I just hit
Subs.
1,000 subscribers. I just hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'm gonna start getting on the reviewing train. I don't think I'm gonna be reacting for too much longer because I feel like that takes a lot of time. But first, I want to finish Camp Season 2, and then I'll start easing out of the reaction lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because there's so much I want to talk about. Like I want to know a lot more than just Ruby's fast. I want to learn more. About
Yeah. Jar Jar Binks in the chat is saying congratulations for 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, also I want to say thank you everyone. Since the last VYTALCast we hit 1,700, so I forgot to ever say anything about that. So here it is. Here's my official thing. You get VYTALCast 42 for celebration. Okay. Okay.
By the way, what was that video? RWBY reactor ships isn't the only video, and other than the other one where it was like the top 10. Those aren't the only I would say shout out videos that I've made.
Oh really?
Yeah. If way back when, like when I first started, I actually did a series called RWBY Reactor Reactions, where in my way of trying to learn the series, I actually reacted to other people's videos, their reactions to the show. Yeah, first I did Murder, then second I did Freelancer, and then third I did Zhao Long.
Okay.
You guys know these guys?
I know the first
I've
two.
heard of
Xiao Long I haven't heard of actually.
Zhao Long is what was it again? It's a channel where they don't have like a specific name, but it's always like two people. It's always one guy wearing a shark hat and
Oh, okay.
a girl next. Yeah, and then there'll be some videos where it's a big group of them. So I don't know any of their names, but I did react. That was like my last one because I figured that these videos take forever to edit, so maybe I should just do something a little smaller, like put it all together. So that's when I came up with the whole do a top 10 video, like who are my top 10 favorites. I mean, at the end of the day, I love everybody, so
yeah.
Yeah, so I knew I wasn't gonna get everybody in this, so I was like, you know what? Let me just like shorten the list. So that's what I came up with.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I have a comment, but first I just saw Stoic the Dragon Eater's comment. He said, I donated blood yesterday, so I win at this non-contest of, like, people saying stuff. And then also, Games and Skits says, tell Memory I'm eating chicken and broccoli with white rice as well. So...
Oh, you cheater! I didn't even get to eat mine!
Yeah, you're eating it before him. How could you? Nah, it's fine, But as you said about choosing favorites, I always have a hard time choosing like favorite characters, and I think the easiest way for me to systematically do that is I use Beacon Ship, but that website has not updated in years.
I'm
sadly.
so sad. I wanted to update so badly.
Do you know what Beacon Ship is?
I heard of it, but someone was talking about it one time in front of me. What is it? You said it hasn't updated. What's that about?
Okay, so it came out during or a little after Volume 3, but someone for their like college project for making a website made beaconship.me, and it's basically it'll pit up two characters against each other, and you click on whichever one you like the most. And while you're doing this, it'll slowly take you through the whole roster of characters in RWBY, and then it will rank them as your favorite. And
On top of you. Is there like a leaderboard for that?
yeah, there actually is a leaderboard. You could click on like view results. I think Ruby Rose is the highest ranked on the website, and it will say like how many people and all that. I think it's Ruby, Weiss, and then Pyrrha. I'm gonna double check this, but it's a fun little game. I was gonna do like one after every thing, after every volume, not a thing. Okay, so yeah, in the top right hand corner you say that. Oh my gosh, I changed my mind. I'm gonna pull up the. Oh, do I not have my browser thing? I'm gonna add a window capture for my Google. Let's see.
Sadly, I can't see what you're doing, so.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna post it up on the screen. Why is it not popping up? Chrome. Why? Properties.
I feel
Yeah.
you do you. I feel a little jealous. Maybe I should have just did this in the first place, like Discord. This is like the first time I'm ever using it. I have not discovered. Like people would always tell me on YouTube, you should get Discord, and I'll be like, for what? They'll be like, well, to chat. And I was like, well, I already have Skype, so. But they're like, that thing always lags.
Oh, dude, I have to say this has been a life changer. Like once they added in the video chat for Discord, it's been so much easier to do VYTALCast, especially when Skype will randomly throw up ads and people are like, why are you being sponsored by Walmart? I'm like, no, that's Skype. Like, no, that's Skype. That's not us. I don't have a deal with Walmart, sadly. I'm a Target person myself, but if not Costco. But so I just looked on the rankings. It's actually Weiss, Yang, and then RWBY on the website. And Yang and Weiss are like neck and neck. And then it's like RWBY looks like she's quite a bit behind.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. I think now everyone likes Weiss because she's a dab queen now. At least that's what everyone's saying.
She's the team mom, as I put it.
I don't know. I really like Weiss. She's my second favorite character. She's actually a character who got really good character development, and like I really appreciate her now. And like her power is really cool, and her outfit is pretty, and I like her. So.
Yeah, it got to the point with her during Volume 4 that I would randomly cry at work over her. While I'm working, and my coworkers are like, David, are you okay? I'm like, Weiss is just so strong. Like, they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, she jumped up through the ranks for me, so because I think.
I mean, isn't that what she's gonna need for when she like goes back to Atlas? Because she's gonna need that encouragement.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, dude, Weiss is gonna be so pissed going back to Atlas. So I'm like,
Well, she's gonna be pissed. Oh god, if Jacques slaps her again.
Oh no, she's gonna take off that hand before he slaps her.
Like, gonna back her up.
Yeah. No, like Yang will just throw her robot arm at him. Like, whah! Then like Nora freaks out again because she forgets it could detach. I don't know.
I don't know what. Nora should have just laughed that whole thing off, like, oh, it's an arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It like I don't know. I saw Infinity War again last night. Not again, but last night. And ever since like Age of Ultron or no. It was like ever since like Winter Soldier, Marvel has been having like someone lose an arm every movie. And sorry, it just reminded me of that, like how people lose their arms. But
yeah. Are you giving spoilers?
No. This is like.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Thank you, Ryan Robertson. If Weiss is so strong, why does she lose almost every fight she's in? Tongue sticking out emoji. Thank you so much, Ryan. I don't know. She's emotionally strong. Maybe not combat strong, but emotionally, she has, like, an ironclad will is awesome.
Okay, I want to ask an open question. Who is
Yes.
the strongest member of RWBY?
Oh gosh.
Overall. Who
Oh
would
no.
beat all of them? All four of them went at it. Who would win?
You know, I could easily see like any of them winning depending on circumstances. I could definitely see Blake winning if she does more strategy than brute force. I could see Yang winning in matters of brute force, and then Weiss also in like same as Blake is like more of like strategy. But
Thinking hard right now.
you know,
Who would win out of all four of them?
I
don't
want
know.
to say, I don't know. Right now, I want to say Yang, just because she's matured her fighting style.
Because she's not like go in and attack now, and now it's more like precise and she's.
And
more
she
cool.
doesn't throw her temper tantrums every
Yeah.
time.
She's not emotionally charged as much.
Ain't nothing worse than a smart warrior who's strong as hell. So yeah.
I mean, I could still easily see Blake being able to just like do a fake out and use that as a distraction to pull the fatal blow. You know,
Yeah. I don't think. I mean,
someone
like,
call
you know,
screw attack and make it official on who's strongest.
You know what? Actually, this brings up another question for me. Well, for you, who do you think will win? Because a lot of people have debated about this a lot about who's gonna win in a fight, Maka Albarn or RWBY.
Maka.
You
Maka.
know Soul Eater? Does anyone know?
Oh, the
I
site.
haven't seen it.
I have not
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it either.
spoiling anything.
Okay, I know she's the main character, and
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
uses some dude as the scythe. I
Yes.
know stuff of Soul Eater, and I've read the last chapter of the manga, um, but like my friend back in high school, he used to make like a somewhat of a Soul Eater fanfic, but it all included like himself, me, and like people in real life, and then like also took inspirations from Scott Pilgrim and all this other stuff. But everyone
Oh,
had
yeah.
everyone had a partner that would also turn into a weapon, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
the Soul Eater influence on it. And like I had a sword that was also a gun, and it would and her name was Violet, and she had an eye patch, and her twin was Scarlet, who was like his weapon or something like that. It was a very interesting series, and I wish he finished it, but
I think that's why Soul Eater got so out there, is because wouldn't it be so awesome if your friend could turn into a weapon and then you could just fight that way? Like that would be so cool.
yeah, but what if someone started dating their weapon and then they broke up? What happens then? It's like, well, you're gonna have to find a new scythe. But Crescent Rose, I saw you looking at Jean's sword. Okay.
Oh my
Sword,
God,
sword.
RWBY would cheat on Crescent Rose so hard because anytime she sees a new weapon, she bugs out.
Yeah, it's like, you're so unloyal. Do you know I could never replace you? Yeah, because you only know how to use a scythe. But, like, oh gosh.
RWBY's that person that's just gonna have a lot of side girls or side guys.
Yeah, we just need a crack video on it now.
You just can't pick one. You just can't, it's either everybody or nobody.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Okay. So next question.
Yes.
Question. Ruby Silver Eyes.
Oh my gosh, Luca Blight! Thank you! And thank you so much! And thank you for saying enjoy your cosplay. I am definitely putting that towards Todoroki's suit. Oh, thank you. Okay. Anyway.
I wish I could see the chat. Darn it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. I mean, that's why I try to read out. Oh, by the way, Stoic says Maka would win out of experience.
That was my review theory as well. I'm not gonna spoil Soul Eater for you guys, but to come to like a final conclusion, you gotta watch the whole thing, not just the anime but the manga. So that yeah. I'll explain later.
Yeah,
but
I know it's on Netflix, but the anime never finished what the manga has. What?
The anime finished. But
oh, it did?
Yeah, everything's done. That finished in 2013? Yeah.
2013? Okay.
Yeah.
I could have swore like the manga was still going, but like the anime had like ended or something. I heard.
Yeah, the anime. It ended in 2009 and it finished in 2013.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, what was I saying? Silver Eyes. I get this question a
Oh
lot.
my gosh. Sorry, Trenton Dixon literally just mentioned Ruby and her silver eyes. He said you
Yeah.
should watch Unicorn of War's videos on Ruby, not asking about her silver eyes. Which, well,
No one wants to talk about it. That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah. Yeah, it.
'Cause we don't
Anyway.
have
Mhm.
concrete there's nothing fully like supporting like how strong is it or what she does when she's in that form.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's mainly to just kill Grim, and it only affects
yeah.
Grim. And it really makes me wonder if Cinder had a part of a Grim in her in Volume 3. And,
Yeah, this is the argument that I've had with so many people. They're like,
yeah.
okay, so did she have like that grim that was in her arm when she went to take what was her name again? The fall maiden
Amber.
power?
Amber.
Yeah, Amber. So was it the glove or was she always able to do that? Like, so that was like the biggest question to me because
When I first saw the episode, I would say the glove, but, like, now that Cinder has been affected by it, makes me wonder
if it's still in her.
if it was actually in her or not. Because the glove looked like it had a portal, and the Grim was coming out of the portal to do the thing. And
So the grim was already attached to her, and the glove was only for the sapping process. Is that what you're?
maybe like the glove was to like teleport the Grim to do the sapping process, but it might have been like a teleport from like inside her body to outside her body.
For 64.
Yeah. Hey. That was pretty good.
Sorry, just inspiration, man.
Yeah, dude, I loved the ship name you had for me and Weiss. Like Space and Time, was it called?
Yeah, time and space.
Time and Space. Sorry, I did something like that yesterday. I said same old dance and song when it's supposed to be song and dance. But yeah, I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I was like, hey. Um,
Yeah, if you have any questions, yeah. Now that we're on that topic, you want to talk about this, like that whole video, like on all the ships. You want to know
the
about
ship
them?
names and all that. Man, I mean, I gotta admit, I saw it last week, and other than like Time and Space, I've forgotten quite a bit of it. I've had a pretty crazy
The
week.
first one, the ship name I had for you and Ruby was Warp. Now,
Warp.
yeah, Warp.
Oh, like time, like fast travel across space.
Because your name is Portal, so I kind of use the whole fact that Ruby's quick. She can warp when she, travels. If you
Yeah.
guys have ever, if you play Grim, I am
Grim Eclipse.
Yeah, Grim Eclipse.
Yeah.
If you notice when she jumps, she actually warps in the air. So that's why I noticed like that would be a good
Yeah.
name for you.
Dude, I would exploit that so much in the game. I'd always jump and then dash
Yeah.
a lot. That's like the fastest way to travel is just to jump and dash. And I don't know if you ever tried doing this, but with Yang, when you jump and dash and you make her twirl in a circle, it looks like she's riding a broom.
Oh, that is true.
Okay, sorry. It just it was like, oh, she's going after the snitch. Oh, okay, sorry.
Grim Eclipse is the only game where you could jump faster than you can run. That is so funny.
Yeah, I'm
You don't
trying
need
to think.
run. Jump the whole time.
I don't
If you
know.
guys, if you guys watch, because I every time when what's her name, Calaxis?
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah, I just call her Cal for short.
Cal. If you watch Cal's reviews and how I'm guessing that's her playing, she does use the jump feature a lot, and she's always getting in and attacking. So I
Yeah.
like seeing her traveling and doing that sort of thing. So it was like it's exactly how I play.
Yeah,
So,
I've actually been debating about doing videos more like that again because I used back in 2013 or 2014 when I started doing YouTube, I did like daily gaming videos, but it's like, man, I still have like stuff to talk about, and I'm actually debating about mixing the two together, like have gameplay, but I'm voicing over it, kind of like how she does with Hunter. But
yeah.
anyway.
Starting a stereotype. Every RWBY fan is a video gamer.
Yeah.
Everyone starts out as a gamer, or they're always gaming on their free time.
I mean,
Always
now
charged.
now that there's like the Nintendo Switch out, how could you not be gaming somehow? Like,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude.
yeah, Sonny just got converted to Fortnite, and then tried to convert me.
Oh, is this true, Sonny? Oh, I can't.
Sonny, your lips are moving, but nothing is coming out.
Did you hit a button?
Sorry.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, it was the button.
Stick it,
I
Turtle
don't know. It was
Beach.
something on my thingy. So I had always been interested in PUBG, but then that cost money. And then Fortnite came out, and it was free. But I had money. Like I got a Steam gift card, so I was like, do I buy PUBG or like do I do Fortnite? But I was like, PUBG is still super expensive, so might as well just go with the free option. And then some people I knew were playing it. So then I was like, oh, I'll try it out.
Yeah.
I think I like Fortnite, but I can't play it. It's fun to play, but I can't live for more than 5 seconds as soon as I hit the ground.
Yeah, I'm pretty shit at it.
It's a struggle. It really is.
I mean, it doesn't take much strategy to like run up to someone and shoot them, but to look for weapons when you get to the ground, you can't start me off with a pistol.
Whenever I play PUBG, it takes me a good 10 minutes to find anything decent. Like I'll probably find like a pistol or sawed-off shotgun, like the worst guns in the game, and
Yeah.
there's always like someone with the AR-15 right off the bat. I'm like, really? This is how the game's gonna play? And speaking of games, I wish OBS was not fighting me, but Rooster Teeth announced not too long ago that there is going to be a mobile game called RWBY Amity Arena, and it's being pronounced by Hand Game. And they're announcing the mobile game. It's supposed to be a real-time strategic duel mobile game where you fight with and against RWBY's greatest heroes, villains, and creatures of Grimm. So
Oh, wow.
that was exciting.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta see, like I need to see like a demo before I like say, oh, that sounds great, and then it comes out and I'm like, ugh, like I don't want to do that. So
it's a real-time strategy game, which I think that means like you're on the move with it. It's not going to be like a turn-based thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it would work on a mobile game, but it did remind me of a Naruto game I used to play. So, on the DS. Good old days. But
yeah, we're old people.
yeah. I was like literally 12 when I was playing this game, and now it's 10 years later. So.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of RWBY games, I cannot wait for BlazBlue Cross Tag. I can't wait for that game to drop.
Yeah, are you buying it on a Nintendo Switch, by the way?
PS4. Sorry.
PS4? Okay, because I was thinking of doing a, like, with people in the RWBY reaction community and the YouTube community in general, and some of you guys watching this, you could join in too. I'm gonna get, like, a BlazBlue tournament, and I was thinking of, like, saying Switch is the platform that we'll use, since a lot of people have the Nintendo Switch, and we could take it on the go. And
oh boy.
it's worth it. It just for like being able to play like console level games on the go. I just love my Switch.
I think it might be getting ported over to the PS Vita too. I'm not sure. They usually do that with the extended version. Like this game's gonna come out, I think maybe 4 months later or maybe 6 months later. They're gonna have a cartridge size for it, so then you can put it inside your Vita.
Oh, okay.
So, I think I can still play with you on the PS4 because they have this thing online where you can play on any system.
Oh, cross-platform play?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do that. Like that's why they only pick like PS4 and Switch because they can, they're not compatible, but you can do cross any platform play.
Okay.
I do it. Like the City NT, I do that all the time.
Okay, cool. Because I would love to try to get as many people as possible involved on that, and I'll be recording it. What?
I'm totally down for that. I'm actually,
Sweet.
I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I'm a really good player when it comes to BlazBlue. So, yeah, my team is normally is going to be Noelle and RWBY, so I can't wait.
Cool. I've never played any BlazBlue, so I'm excited to try it out just because there's RWBY characters. Yeah. Yeah.
You have like 4 games to catch up to this story if you're interested.
I'm used to like jumping into the series mid in like Assassin's Creed. I jumped in with Assassin's Creed 3 and played the earlier games later.
Yeah, like everyone's trying to get me into Hero. What is it called? The Hero A something?
Academia?
Yeah, I've never seen it before. Everyone's telling me to get into it.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it if you love superheroes and you love anime or just shonen in general. You'll love My Hero Academia.
That's shonen?
I started it last Thursday and I finished it in 3 days, and now I'm on chapter 124 of the manga, and it's so good. Please watch it.
So
You want to know the real reason why I want to get into this is because I went to Hot Topic the other day. By the way, I went and got this Pokemon necklace while I was there.
oh nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a Pokeball. I don't know if you can see it because I'm so far away. But I went in there, and guess what this guy's playing in the store? He's playing the opening intro to Hero Academia in season, what was it again?
Season
2?
3?
He was playing the season 2 opening.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, but you want to know what it was? This guy wasn't playing the intro of the series in the Japanese voice. It was actually an English dub made by a girl on YouTube that's very famous. I can't remember her name.
Amy Lee. I mean, Amy.
That's her name.
Yeah, like
yeah.
no, I'm subscribed to who you're talking about. I bet. Her name's
It sounds so good.
Lee and Lee. That's the name of the channel. Lee and Lee. Yeah.
Actually, while I'm still here, Sonny, I have a question for you.
Okay.
The season 2 opening. I listened to the Japanese version. What is this guy saying in that like solo bit where he's like he's constantly saying something? You know what part I'm talking about, right?
Well, there's 2 season 2 openings, so which one?
I can't remember, but there's this solo part where he's like going in. I don't know what he's saying, but he just.
My Hero Academia, believe in the me that believes in you. The series. that was a great joke.
I don't know what he's saying really.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like that.
Yeah, I think so.
When Deku's murmuring to himself.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds so powerful, but he just keeps going in, and then it gets back to the guitar. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, you're talking
I think
about the
that's
intro.
the third opening, Sorni Utaiba. I can't pronounce it right now.
Yeah.
Wait, there's more than one opening for one season? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 2 openings for season 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because it was longer than season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
For
sorry.
for most anime, I think if they're doing like a 26 episode season, around 13 episodes they'll change the intro. And I remember with Ancient Magnus Bride, everyone got out their pitchforks when the new one came out because it wasn't nearly as good as the first one, and it was just rehashed footage from episodes and the original intro. There was like nothing visually new in it, and people were just mad. But yeah, anyway. Oops, dropped my phone. Which, by the way, you should totally watch Ancient Magnus Bride. It's only like 26.
It's gonna be a long week.
Yeah. We're just gonna start slapping down anime, and really, I was out of anime for a few years. I took like a long break. RWBY was really the only anime type show I was watching, and then last year I got Persona 5, and that just like reignited the fire. And dude, I did not know what I was getting into when I bought that game. I honestly didn't.
Yes!
I'm
sorry, I might start fanboying in the next few seconds. I love Persona 5.
Yeah, oh dude, it's like one of my favorite series. They're like favorite games of all time now. I have like almost 200 hours clocked in, and I've been streaming it. And yeah,
200? That's it?
oh, hey man, there's other games. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's alright.
Wait, before we continue, before I ask another RWBY question,
Yes.
Which one did you go out with?
Oh, Makoto. When I first started playing the game, I was thinking Anne, and then I accidentally romanced her, because you know when you get her to rank 9, and Shiho's leaving, it's like crying. She's like, "I'll be all alone now." And there's 2 options. There's you have the rest of the team, or you could say I'm here for you, or like you have me. And I thought saying the rest of the team is here was a really douchey move, and I didn't know once you say you have me, that was the romance option, and there was no going back. I thought it was later when it was like, when she says I love you, and you could say sorry I didn't hear you, or you could say I love you back. And after that I was like, oh no, what did I do? So then I like reverted my save, and again fell for it by saying I'm here for you. Yeah. And then like, so then I had to revert my save again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to be a jerk and say you have the rest of the team. So I say that, and she's like, yeah, you're all right. She's like, yeah, you're right. And then like you hear her crying and running away, and it's like Anne ran off. I'm like, oh my gosh, she still liked me. like I thought this was gonna be one of those games where like if you don't romance them, like nothing happens, like they're just like oblivious to it. But Anne was
All
like,
the girls want. I'm telling you, man. All the girls want a piece of the main character, no matter which way you go.
yeah.
Except for Futaba, she seems like
Isn't that how it usually works?
Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna say the adult characters I think are like indifferent.
yeah, I would think.
Yeah,
so.
like because Tai Takeme, she didn't seem to like notice or even care at all, unless you do try to romance her. But
Yeah, it'll be a little flirtatious though. But if you don't act on it, then it's just like okay, whatever.
yeah, I think she was just like a teasing person. Stoic said
Yeah.
Anne is a weird way to say Makoto. Yeah, Makoto's best girl. I honestly hated Makoto when she first came in, but then once she was a part of the team, I just like fell hard for her, and it came to the
This is
point where I
why-
bought fan art. I have fan art like 6 feet away of like Makoto and Joker.
This is why I know you're a Ruby fan. You want to know why?
Why?
Because isn't that the feels you had for when Weiss came around?
Oh my gosh! I did not notice this. Oh no! Oh gosh! Uh, they're both team moms. What am I doing?
Oh my god!
What do I have for team moms? Gosh! And now that I think about it, Pura is technically a team mom too. Pura I just like love from the get go, but like, oh no! Yeah.
Hey, chat, did I hit too close to home chat?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is a very good observation. You changed my life.
I'm sorry. Sometimes whenever I pick up on things, I always just like say it right away. I'm a very impulsive guy. I'll say something. I'll say the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
How come I only see like half a sunny space? It's like cut off right here. Okay.
I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah, that's weird because I do not have that problem you're talking about.
You know what? Sunny, just ignore me.
It just
I'm
might be
sorry.
limited screen space on your phone. So we got a question from Trenton Dixon that I would like you guys to answer. He said, would you like it if Rooster Teeth did a prequel RWBY books on characters that are no longer in the show, like Pyrrha, Roman, Vernal, Sienna Khan, since we didn't get much backstory in the show? So
Yeah, I think so. I think what RWBY has been doing for years is lacking on information on the characters. We don't really get like a lot.
Yeah, and
yeah, we do not know a lot of backstory about most of the characters, honestly.
Yeah, and I always thought like that would be a great like spin-off series where we focus on it, or maybe take yeah, and Chibi. Oh, come on, Chibi could have dramatic backstories.
Yeah, it's another world. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth, get on it, please.
Or like even to just give Volume 6 more time, do like an anthology season in between Volumes 5 and 6, and just like do a 6-episode anthology season where each episode was based on a character and given some backstory, or do like a couple episodes.
World of Remnant. You know.
Yeah, like give a 2D World Remnant style. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like Rooster Teeth animation, I'm worried that they might be taking a little bit on their plate, more like putting more on their plate than their plate can hold. And I feel like that RWBY as a show by itself is starting to do that. But now that the team's all together in one place, I hope that will stop being a thing, because it definitely started being a thing after Volume 3, and they're like, oh, by the way, here's Salem, and there's like all this other lore stuff that you'll want to learn, but we don't have the time to dive into because there's all this stuff. Yeah.
I mean, but then again, you also have to remember that Rooster Teeth doesn't just work on RWBY. Like, they have a lot of other things too. So that's like, what is it? Nomad of Nowhere. So like, there's a lot of shows that they're working on and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think this is probably why production time for RWBY is, I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just we don't get as much as we want in RWBY because they're working on other stuff, and maybe there's just not enough people in the workforce to pick up on all these things right away.
Yeah. Well, I also think like part of the problem is us, the fandom, because the original seasons of RWBY had like a year and a half to like 2 years in between each volume coming out, and like a lot of that was just because the team was so small, and RWBY had a small audience back then, but it was a dedicated audience. And now that RWBY's a big audience, you have all these people that are very noisy on like demanding this, demanding that, and there's especially like Volume 4 and Volume 5. There's a lot of the loudest people are also very negative, and a lot of people like me have been getting like bad suggestions on YouTube saying oh, why RWBY Volume 5 is trash, and it's like what the heck? It's like, why is this in my suggestions? And so I made a video on how to fix that.
Talk about this? I think Cal did speak about this, didn't she?
Yeah, Cal talked about it a lot. There was her something Fang, what is his name? Colin Fang. Let's see. I'm gonna have to pull up my Twitter. No, not Twitch. You twit. Okay. Sorry, my phone. I mean my computer. Let's see. Colin. I think his name's Colin or Fang. Fang. Yeah, Cole. Cole from Eruption Fang. He mentioned it as well, and so I thought it was common knowledge, but you could actually fix your recommends by like saying you're not interested in this type of video or not a channel at all. Like, because there are some channels that are just like only for the negative, and you know, people don't always want to see that. And I think I had a bad habit of like watching quite a bit of that after or during Volume 5, and I myself even became a bit salty, and I don't want to be salty at all. And like, they already have so much pressure.
The thing is, you can't fight your like feeling. Well, you're just watching the video and just, you know, stating your opinion on something. You shouldn't fight your feelings when it comes to like things like this, because RWBY, at the end of the day, like when we first started watching it, it wasn't a show where you look at it and say, wow, this is like Oscar material. It was just kind of like you were enjoying the show because of the colorful characters, the fighting scenes, basically how you felt about it.
Yeah.
So when I think about people like really critiquing RWBY, I would just look at them like, dude, just enjoy the show.
Well, yeah, I think there's always like a healthy critical thinking, but there's also like there's a fine line where you go from being critical to just hating on something.
And carry all this nonsense.
Yeah, so and so I think a lot of that so like the fans have also been demanding for like more faster, and so we've been starting to get longer episodes. We've been starting to get them like within the same year and all of that. So like Volume 5 ended this year, and now we're gonna have Volume 6 starting in just a couple more months. And
is that a good thing? Oh man.
and so it's like, oh, you know, like at this point it's like, hey, you know, I feel like now that we have like RWBY Chibi and all these other animated shows, it'd be safe to go back to like we could wait till next spring or next fall for Volume 6 to start. Like, hey guys, RWBY is getting bigger, we should try to take a little bit more care with it and like spend a little bit more time to make sure everything's fleshed out and all that, and also like take some of the weight off of Miles and Carrie's back to like try to get it done on a fixed schedule, especially when Miles is also writing Camp and is heavily involved in that. And but yeah, I just want the best for them, and I want to like the stuff I like. And like even with like Star Wars The Last Jedi, like I love Star Wars, I enjoyed The Last Jedi, but there was a lot of stuff in it that was very disappointing to me as well. And it's like, I just want people to like what I like, and I feel bad when I don't even like what I like. And it's just like, Yeah, and I actually had a problem with that on like Twitter the other day with Laurel Lee and She Noob. So like, you know, everyone's posting like a gif of their favorite film, and at first She Noob was like, oh, I don't like that movie, and Laura Lee and I were both like, oh, we love Tim Burton, like we like him for this and this, and then She Noob would just keep insisting that she just hates it. And we're like, all right, like conversation could have ended, but then I study film production, and from the community I've been in, to call something like a disgrace to cinema is like the worst thing you could say about something, but it's also kind of a way to say, hey, you're wrong for having your opinion. And she said that about like Tim Burton movies, and like we agreed on like, oh yeah, the newer Tim Burton movies are definitely not that good. But I was like, oh, but the older stuff from the 80s and 90s, I loved that stuff. But she was like, it's a disgrace to cinema. I'm like, hey, like, how about we try not to bash stuff? We could still like talk about stuff without insults. And
Yeah.
she like went straight for the throat and like called me a snowflake, and I was
Wow.
like, okay, that we're calling out. Now we're just calling each other names. So I like quote retweeted with a quote saying like, hey, like, call us of the disgraced cinema is like saying you're wrong for having your opinion, which is funny because earlier in that tweet before she called me a snowflake was like people could talk about things they disagree on, and I was trying to say, yeah, we're trying to do that. All I asked was to have a bit of civility, but then she's like, you're making a mountain out of a molehill, and then she blocked me. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
I'm like, I was about to invite
Wow.
you onto VYTALCast so we could talk about this in person, or even have me on BoopCast, which is her RWBY podcast. And I was like, okay, like,
Oh, you guys make up in the end, right?
made up in the end. I mean, I'm still blocked. I'm not able to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I mean, this wasn't like the first time she's like gone out and said something to me. I'm like, did I do something to rub you wrong? Like, because there was like a time when I said, it's kind of weird that ever since like Loki and Moriarty and there's some other villain in like Doctor Who that like people just love villains that are like considered as crazy or something like that. They're like, oh, we like people start worshiping these villains and like liking them more than the bad guy. And I said something like that, but instead of saying Moriarty, I said Mycroft, and she called me delusional. And I'm like, but like the person who I was replying to, because she wasn't in the conversation, they understood that I was meaning Moriarty, even though I said Mycroft. And yeah, it was. I had to explain. I'm like, well, both names start with an M. I mixed them up. I haven't seen the show in years. My memory's rusty.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, and Sunny, I saw your Discord message. I know you gotta go soon.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
always the one who has to go. Like, what the heck?
I don't know.
I have another question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We were talking about that the whole time. I wanted to know why did you start VYTALCast? That was my personal question.
Okay. So for me, I always like when I first started doing my reaction videos, I loved that I was getting like literally 100 comments per video, and I was able to like talk about stuff with people, and I was like, man, like I could totally be doing this as like a video series or a podcast series, and it'll be something that I could even use to like try to earn money through YouTube. And there's like just a bunch of pluses, and it helps networking to other YouTubers like you and Sunny and Aaron and I. We were really great friends at the time, and I was like, hey, and oh man, she knows so much about RWBY compared to me, especially from like an animator's and like a cosplay perspective as well. And I was like, hey, would you like to do it? I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm thinking maybe VYTALCast, but we should probably go through a few different names. And she was like, no, VYTALCast, that's a great name. And so,
Oh.
ta-da! Yeah, and like a lot of people, like episode 2 is where like really kicked off, because a lot of people during episode 1 was like really demanding for Lady Stardust, and I'd never heard of Lady Stardust. Turned out she was huge, and then bless her heart, like did a shout out video like the day of VYTALCast, and I gained 200 subscribers within like an hour because of her shout out. So yeah, and that episode even got put on like Reddit and all sorts of places. So
Yeah, I miss her so much. She was a great reactor.
yeah, I wish I was still able to like contact her just to see like how she's doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she's
in the top 10 video that I made, like I was asking people around, like, is there a way of like us reaching out to her to like say you don't have to come
No.
back right away. Would you great. Like,
so I've tried contacting her through a few of the accounts that are not deleted yet, and she hasn't even like read them. So I think she just like logged out and like uninstalled the apps and just won't ever see them. There was like a number of things that started happening as to why she was leaving YouTube and social media altogether.
I think it was because people were taking her content or something like that.
That was definitely a big factor. There was also like she started to realize that she was getting a lot more attention than what she was necessarily wanting, especially that fast. And then also she was really getting like if she got onto Twitter, she'd be on Twitter like all day. And she was like trying to get other stuff done, and she was just like, oh, like I'm too addicted to my phone or to social media. I want to try to like cut back from that a bit. But then like each time she came back, there was like always like new stuff and all of that. And YouTube actually just is rolling out a feature that would have been really useful for her problem that she had when it came to people re-uploading videos. Now you don't need a network to be able to content ID claim something and make ad revenue off of that, which I think is fantastic. I might find out people are re-uploading me without knowing, but yeah, it's an interesting system that they're bringing back. But there was also some other stuff because she had some controversial opinions, I guess, and like she and I would always friendly debate stuff, and she always loved doing that. But then some people took it a bit too far, and she just was like, yeah, this is too much, I want out. So
Gotcha. I can relate. Yeah, I totally understand.
yeah.
When I started reviewing RWBY, well, mainly since I have a cheerful demeanor, everyone, no, 9 times out of 10, no one gives me crap for it. But there will always be those people that will tell you that your opinion is wrong, I'm right, like have that mindset. And then you'll be like, well, I think this way. Just because I feel this way doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong. So it's that sort of thing. It just matters on how much crap you can put up with until you're like, screw it, I'm done here.
Yeah, and like that was something else I was going to bring up with like the conversation with She-Noob. It was definitely something that neither one of us were right or wrong because it was all subjective, which is something that I tried to say. I was like, oh, like I said, everyone has their likes and dislikes when it comes to cinema. But then she said it's a disgrace to cinema, so I'm like, you just try to tell me my opinion's wrong, okay? But then, yeah, but there are some instances where I would say, like, oh, there is a right and a wrong answer, like, the Earth is flat. No, it's not flat. We have proof that it's round. Like, yeah.
I totally get you, man. So that's what happened because I was planning on messaging Murder about it, but I totally forgot to do that because I wanted to make sure I was ready for this. So yeah.
Okay. Sunny really needs to go.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
As long as you're seeing Infinity War, we'll excuse it.
Well, it's not. I'm seeing Infinity War on Sunday, but like I have something else
right.
I have to do, and I'm really sorry.
Joking.
Like I'm always the one who's like I have to leave. Before I leave, I will say I know I'm going to RTX now. So if anyone was waiting on that, I am going to RTX. I might cosplay. We'll see. Answer my Twitter poll. I put it in the chat. And okay, I gotta go. So I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry.
Bye.
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 Alright, so I'm going to switch this to normal VYTALCast mode. Okay, that did not... Okay, so we can continue if you want. I just need to...
Oh, no problem.
I just need to edit, because I know you still want to talk about stuff, and I still want to talk with you as well.
Actually, I've been asking most of the questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, like, what was, like... I mean, you said the action was, like, your main draw to the series. I was wondering if there's like anything else that has changed as you've watched it for you, like reasons why you're still watching.
The reason why I'm still watching RWBY is because remember how I told you that I wanted to like see like RWBY through other people's eyes. I wanted to see everyone else's perspective on it.
Yeah.
I knew about Monty but I didn't understand like his impact on the world as to like a lot of other animators. I didn't know that, like, he had quotes, like things like, keep moving forward and stuff like that.
Yeah, always keep moving forward. There was actually something I just posted to Facebook not too long ago. I mean, not too long ago, but, like, there was, like, a Facebook memories on. And it was a tweet he said, hey guys, life is pretty great. Just keep on going, and I'll keep going, too. And that hit right here for me yesterday, because it... April is just like the end of April is always a weird month for me because like April 23rd was like the day my dad died, but it's also now thanks to like stuff like Doctor Who or Persona or Pokemon. I have reasons to celebrate on April 23rd. Like April 23rd is Makoto's birthday. In Doctor
Wait,
Who,
Persona?
yeah, in Persona.
Wait, I'm sorry, you glitched a little bit. What'd you say?
I was saying like thanks to like fandom stuff or like April 23rd is not so much of like a sad day for me anymore. There's like reasons to celebrate. Like in Persona, April 23rd is Makoto's birthday, and
Oh,
in
I didn't know this.
yeah, in Doctor Who, April 23rd is like the Silence Will Fall day, where people will do like the tally marks on their arm, and April 23rd in like 1998 was also the day that the Pokemon Company was founded. So like Pokemon finally became its like own company, and
Yeah, when IP,
yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I really liked, and then this week has just been busy, but like April 23rd is still always a weird day for me because of my dad, and I know it was related to him that I posted that tweet onto Facebook, and I was just like, Monty, and like, you know, Monty feelings come back, and
that's what I'm saying. It's just like Monty had like so many quotes that will always like get you to think. Like it's like at the end of the day, Monty's life wasn't just animate, entertain. It was like it was animate and inspire. So that's why I was getting so into RWBY, because it felt like the story behind RWBY just goes deeper than just a girl with a scythe, you know, hacking something like a monster's head off. That's not just what the show's about. So as time went on, and I just started like, you know, getting to know you guys through your videos, and just watching all the live streams, and just watching all the trips to RTX. Like I can't wait until like I'm gonna plan to go to RTX next year. I didn't make any plans this year. Sorry about that.
yeah,
But definitely. I want to meet like the actors. I want to see them in person. You know, I'm not gonna ask them a crap ton of questions like I'm asking you, but
yeah, they're friendly people. Like I've met Aaron Zek, I've met Barbara, I have seen Lindsay Jones from a distance, but she like waved hello, and like Kara Eberla, I tried. What?
Did any of them recognize you, like from YouTube maybe?
You know, I know Barbara at least watches reaction videos, but when I met her, she was a little tipsy from alcohol, so I don't think that did anything. I met her at the it was at the day 5 season 2 premiere, and if you met any of the Rooster Teeth cast people there, they were all a little drunk, and it was great. Like I met Chris Damaris there again. I saw Blake, but I didn't get to talk to Blake, and I mean Blaine, not Blake, Blaine. But yeah, Barbara, like I tried to say hello to her, and she's like, "Hello." She was like very loud and giggly, so I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." No, it was pretty funny.
Must run in the family.
Yeah, like Barbara and Yang. It's like, well, the difference is Barbara is old enough to drink and Yang not so much. Yeah.
Isn't Yang 18? I think she's 18.
I think now she's 18. Yeah.
Now she's 18 because of the time skip.
Yes.
But
yeah. But who knows what the age for drinking is in the World of Remnant? You know, it's like, okay, they're allowed to have dangerous weapons as young as like 14 or 15, but they can't drink alcohol. Okay.
How'd you think about it? Jesus Christ. 15 years old carrying around an armed weapon everywhere you go? Oh my god.
Yeah, and like being able to just use it in public to fight some guy with a cane? Oh, the world's crazy, man.
just imagine walking down the street and some guy is just walking around with a gun, and then you're like, oh, he's just walking around with a gun. Then you hear a gunshot, you turn around, and it's like, oh, he just shot a Grim.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't hear that Grim coming. Good job, dude.
Yeah. You're a good huntsman. You're doing a good service to our country.
Yeah, and Verif posted in the chat about Monty. He said Monty designed the map of Remnant based off of a ketchup smear he made on a napkin. So Monty, he has like inspiration moments, but then there's stuff like that, like that, and like he'll punch lemons out of the air. That was like kind of an on-running gag with Monty, and
Oh
it
my gosh, I never knew.
yeah, no, Monty's an amazing guy. Like I wish I had the
Oh,
opportunity to meet him, and I
uh,
remember
he was awesome.
I met Bernie Burns and Ashley Jenkins just like a week or
Oh,
two before he went to the hospital. And I remember when I was meeting them, it was like my birthday, and I was just very excited to see them, and I was shy, but I did say like, "Oh, I'm really glad I get to meet you guys, but I can't wait to meet Monty." And then 2 weeks
yeah.
later, and but that was also like the time where I made a lot of friends through Rooster Teeth. If you follow Ruby on the Rooster Teeth site, like through the forums and stuff, like there's a group officially for Ruby, and
And also
wi-
people that will just talk to you about the World of Remnant, that sort of thing.
yeah, it's basically they'll like after each episode they'll make a post talking about the episode, and then you could chat in the comments of the post. And when Monty went to the hospital, they're like, "Hey guys, we're gonna do like kind of a support, like watchathon. Like here's a link." That we went onto some website. I can't remember what it's called, but you could basically like set up a playlist of YouTube videos, and then there's like a sidebar chat where you could all talk while the videos are going. And I made a lot of friends through that, just watching Ruby and talking to them through the chat as Ruby went to just kind of like support each other on like making sure we're okay, because a lot of us really admired Monty, and uh, it was a rough time. And then eventually we ran out of Ruby and we had to start watching Red versus Blue, but they
I
they
still
did a
haven't
few
watched
times.
that.
Yeah, it was kind of a special moment for me because that was like fandom coming together to take care of each other. And
Yeah,
uh,
from that time.
yeah, and there was like a lot in the air of like so there was like when he was in the hospital, and then they did it again once he like actually passed away, because there was like a few days difference between the two. And once he had passed, we did it again, but a lot of us were like worried if like Ruby would even continue. Would it be appropriate if it continues? Would we just do one last season? And there was like a lot of questions among us, but then also still like trying to process the loss of someone we had admired for so long. So
Yeah,
but
that's that. I mean, I wasn't there for it. Like I said, I came in during the Volume 3 era, but when I found out about it, I was like, no. Like, I mean, and I wasn't even in it this time. It wasn't a matter of, oh crap, I'm not going to see any good action from this guy. We just lost somebody that was just one of the greatest people that have ever walked the face of this earth. He's inspired so many people, and
yeah.
it's not fair, like that's all I could take from like when I found out about the. I mean, a lot later than you, but
Hmm.
it was still a very painful feeling, like seeing somebody that's just done so much for the world. I would say, and
Yeah,
it just
and I mean Monty like still kind of like motivates me, and like I still try to keep moving forward, as he would say, and like
yeah,
keep trying to do VYTALCast, keep doing Ruby reaction stuff, still do my gaming content. Like sometimes it's harder to do because of scheduling stuff, but I still try to make it work, and like still try to like get my career in like video production done and all of that, and still try to make it big on YouTube. Uh,
I
which
think that's everyone's dream to do the best you can to. Not only to financially support yourself, but to always feel like you're being successful doing what you enjoy. I think
yeah,
that's sort
yeah, and I know around Monty's birthday in June, people would call it like the Monty Challenge, or the Monty something, but it's basically like to motivate people to like get a project done and try to
yeah.
do something. And uh,
Mino does this a lot, by the way.
yeah,
Every Mino, yeah,
yeah,
the
and
little
Ruby Amino, that place has changed a lot in the last 2 years with how they do stuff. Because VitalCast used to be on their top page like every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't do
Uh,
that anymore, or
uh,
I mean,
I haven't seen it posted there in a long time. Oh, and Hunt SD says June. You mean February? I've seen it done in both months. February for when he passes, and then June for his birthday.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it was both months. So, but yeah,
I think we should start talking about it. Like, I'm sure as soon as like next month hits, they're gonna start bringing it up. So I think people are gonna get started like right away.
yeah, yeah. February, Hunt SD, February 3rd was when he died, and then I think his birthday was like June 5th. I'm gonna Google that. Monty.
I got something funny I want to show you,
Okay.
just keep talking. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, February 1st was when he died, and June 22nd was his birthday. So, yeah. Gosh, I miss this guy. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll watch the tribute to Monty video.
I watch it like I think every time when his birthday shows up, because it's been 2 years now. I think I
3.
always watch that tribute to Monty video like on the day of, because that's still a very, it always breaks me up, for watching it. But
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a traditional thing to every RWBY fan. I think.
Yeah, I have like a motivational playlist on YouTube that I watch just to like, if I'm in a stump, something to like push me, and there's that as number one, and then there's like Markiplier at like 5 million subs talking about like YouTube stuff. So, but Monty's video always like gets me to start working on something if I really needed to kick my gears.
Yeah, just a little inspiration just to get your fuel, your get up and go fuel.
Yeah. So, and Stoic is saying like listening to Monty and old podcasts always made him want to draw or write, and I mean that just shows like the power of Monty like he inspires people to move even when he's gone.
Question, because
Yes.
I think we're both saying it differently. I say you say Which one is it?
I think it's
I'm so bad with
I believe it's
but I keep saying so it's so this whole time I've been saying it wrong, but no one corrects me, so it's like.
Dude, I always mispronounce words or like flub words all the time. Like I do it all the time, especially on VYTALCast. Like today I've been pretty well on it, but most shows it would be like a very simple word, a very common word, and I will find a way to make it like unrecognizable somehow.
People still messing up my name, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
Memory.
Oh, really? People think, what do they call it? Like Mimo Rai?
They're like they give me these weird nicknames. It's either Memory or Mori or Mem.
Huh. That
You
is.
should see the comments. Goddamn.
Yeah. Speaking of your name or channel name, is the Japanese kanji just for memory, or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's just memory. Okay.
Yeah. I isolate. I leave it there so that people who watch like Japanese stuff find me through there.
Okay, so they watch it and they just look at the username like, this guy likes anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I figure since RWBY is very big in Japan, I would think that people would look for somebody that they recognize through name on YouTube, so that's why I put it there.
Okay. Sounds.
But my name actually has some importance to it, not the kanji side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even tell you where I found out about RWBY. You never imagine where I found out.
Where?
Okay.
Tumblr?
On Vine. The app that doesn't exist anymore.
Wait, Shama. What? Vine?
Yeah, Vine.
Like, what? Was there a specific video?
There was, actually, it was the Monty tribute, actually. And it just came out of nowhere, and I just saw him next to RWBY, when RWBY showed up in the first episode. And then a lot of people started making, and then that's when RWBY TV Season 1 came out. And then everyone was just making joke videos, and I was just like, what is this? And then that's when it started, the whole death battle thing. So I found out about RWBY through Vine, where I actually came from on social media.
Wow.
I used to make tons of joke videos on that app. Actually, if you look at my name on YouTube, you'll see the Vine logo in between like the Y in my name, like right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I put the Vine logo. Yeah.
Let's see.
I had a friend made that for me, so.
Okay, that's cool.
Shout out to Rainy Chani if she ever sees this.
Yeah, and it's funny that your name is Memory, because Verif just pointed out, and I totally forgot. So, Monty, he ran Red versus Blue for a couple of seasons, in like seasons 8, 9, and 10. but there was always a phrase that Monty used for that show, and it was "memory is key."
Really?
Yeah,
I never knew.
yeah. I mean, you said you didn't watch Red versus Blue, but it's like that's it. You know, it's just an odd coincidence that "memory is key" is one of the phrases that people relate to Monty through Red versus Blue, and then you just happen to use "memory" as your username.
That is crazy. I've had memory since 2000 May 15th of 2015. That is crazy. I never knew. I've never seen Red vs. Blue. It's I know it's Halo related, and I would always see
Yes.
like memes. Yeah, and I always seen like a bunch of memes on it on Vine, but I never knew what it was. I just safely assumed, oh, this is just for Steve making another animation, regarding Halo.
Psh, psh, not just another animation. It was the animation they made. It was what made Rooster Teeth Rooster Teeth. Like, uh,
I
if
gotta.
if it wasn't for Red versus Blue, there would be no Rooster Teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is that like
Rooster
their
Teeth.
first
Red
project?
versus Blue was their first project as a company,
Yeah,
and
you're glitched. Sorry, I'm sorry. Repeat everything you just said. You just glitched out that whole
yeah, yeah.
sentence.
Okay, so Red versus Blue was Rooster Teeth's first project back in 2003, and
Oh, was
yeah,
that fast?
it was one of the very first Machinima web series, and it was like long before YouTube was a thing, and they would just oh crap, if I had my notes. Oh my gosh, I have my notes right next to me. Okay. So when I met Bernie, he
Wow.
was doing a panel at the Sundance Film Festival, and he talked a lot about the beginning of Red versus Blue. And so he said, where is it? He talked about Red versus Blue. Um, let's see. So like the first episode of Red versus Blue got ah crap. Okay. I see Red versus Blue mentioned here. Okay, so they
It's
yeah, Red versus Blue. So they're like first episode. Okay. Here it is. So when they first made Red versus Blue, the very first Red versus Blue episode on the Machinima website got 3,000 views. And then the next week, for the second episode, it jumped up to 250,000 views. And then the next week, it had 3 million views. Red versus Blue exploded, and like so YouTube just had its birthday the other day, and Bernie said like by the time YouTube had its first video, Red versus Blue was on episode 56. And
wow.
yeah, and the only way they made money through Red versus Blue was by selling DVDs. And
Oh, they wasn't even. So the YouTube videos weren't even.
yeah, they
Uh,
they they
back to
later
the.
re-uploaded them onto YouTube. And then
Oh,
they started doing live action, and then RWBY was like their second animated show, or
oh,
third, because they had Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures, which is like them taking sound snippets from their podcast and then putting animation to it, which is hilarious.
I have a question about Michael. When did Rage Quit come out? Did that come out before Ruby or after?
Oh, that came out before. So
Oh,
Rage Quit, if I remember correctly, I don't know all too much about Rage Quit's origins, but I believe Rage Quit was something Michael Jones was doing on the internet before he even
yeah,
became part of Rooster Teeth. But
yeah.
Rooster
That's what
Teeth, yeah, Rooster
I
Teeth noticed him, and they're like, "Hey, we would love to have you." And so then they hired him, and he moved from New Jersey to uh, Texas and
he's
became
in New
part of Rooster
Jersey.
Teeth and
Wow,
Achievement Hunter. Yeah,
he's only a state away from me.
yeah. Uh,
That's
so
crazy. That's a long flight. Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's like a 5 hour flight, isn't it?
I think so. From where I am, I think it's about
6.
yeah
Oh, okay.
5 6. Because I'm from New York, so I would say
Yeah,
Texas about yeah.
yeah. I know when my cousin lived in New Jersey for 2 years, he was like, "Oh yeah, we just jumped on a train and we went to New York." But
Yeah, it would take like an hour, two.
yeah, I think so. I don't know the details of how long it took him, but he just said he was like, you could do the trip within a day, like there and back. Uh,
Yeah,
so, oh, and
I do that way too. So I know the travel distance. So yeah, I understand.
yeah. So yeah, that's how like Michael Jones got noticed, and Monty they like mentioned in passing on a podcast saying like, "Oh, we loved Haloid and like Dead Fantasy," and they like said they sent him an email saying like, "Hey, we would love to like take you out for a coffee and like talk about you working for us." And Monty didn't realize they were offering him a job. He thought they were just being nice, and it wasn't until like a few more years that they finally got him on to work on Red versus Blue. And so
Oh,
he started doing fight animation scenes for them, and that's when I really kind of started jumping into Red versus Blue, was to watch the fight animation scenes. And like I was familiar with Red versus Blue's earlier seasons, but I'm like, wow, it's so different now with the freelancers. And I knew it was Monty that was in charge of the action sequences. And when they announced like the red trailer and I saw his name on it, I was like, I am watching this. The action is going to be amazing. So
everyone knew once Monty got on a mission, he was gonna succeed. Yeah,
yeah,
it was so. I never seen, like I said, I've never seen Red versus Blue, but from what you're saying is, I think Montium came onto Red versus Blue. I'm guessing maybe how many seasons forward?
it
Maybe three, four.
he did a scene for it back in like season 6, and then later like just a little bits of season 7, but then it wasn't like till season 8 that he really was like a bigger part of it, I believe. And then seasons
Oh,
9 and 10 he was like doing over half of the work on it.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So then, how many? Wait, so season 6, season 8. So I got a lot of catching up to do.
Oh,
Just like,
I mean, they just barely started season 16. I mean, Red versus Blue is like the world's longest running web series and America's longest running sci-fi series.
oh, I mean,
All stuff I have in my notes right here from Bernie Burns. So
how many how many episodes is in each season for Red versus Blue?
it really depends on each season. The earlier seasons, the episodes were like 2 to 4 minutes long, and so, but it's on Netflix. Like, if
What
you
is it all
just,
about RWBY and stuff, or are they actually shooting and stuff?
oh, there's a little bit of a mix. It's more comedy. Once like Monty came into it, it was very much more shooting and fighting and all of that.
Okay.
You'll see, but like there's a mix of drama, but it started out as like comedy, and the reason why they started shifting away from comedy based and more action and story based was because they started getting more of an Asian audience, and they think that a lot of the comedy was not translating so well for the culture because comedy could be more
Totally
cultural.
get it.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, unless you're American or someone in the West, you're not going to understand our comedy as much because we make some vague references to our pop culture and stuff like that. But everyone understands action, everyone understands conflict. So they started moving more to conflict based stuff.
So yeah, I mean, not everyone's gonna know who like people like Jessica Alba are, or things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so bring up. So yeah, that's why they. Okay, I totally understand now. So I got like a lot of catching up to do as far as like
Yeah,
for our
I think season 1 was only like an hour and a half ish long. Like the
was
earlier
it
seasons are just like a couple of hours. It's not until
for
like
each video?
no,
Each
no, no,
video's
no,
like,
for a season.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All
So
right, so I can like binge like maybe just one full Saturday and get through at least 4 seasons. I'm guessing
4 or 3. Yeah.
four. Okay, so one good day I can get through 1 through 3. All
Yeah,
right,
you'll
so
get through most of the Blood Gulch saga pretty much as what they call it cuz in Halo they're on the map Blood Gulch. So that's what they named it
so
after.
so it's like everyone in Rooster Teeth, like in the show, like they're all voice actors in the show itself, like Bernie and
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah. So like it started with Bernie, Matt, Joel, Jeff, and I think that was it. And they were like the main voice actors. They eventually brought in Becca Fraser to play a side character, and like every now and then they'll bring in other voice actors, but as it grew, so yeah. And
Right.
now you have like Miles Carey. Well, I don't think Carey, but you have like Miles and Barbara playing side characters in it as well now.
Is Michael in it too? Screaming.
Michael played Soldier 56. He was like a very side character.
Yeah. Like, is he bugging out in the video as well? Like, when did he get in there?
Michael was like so unnoticeable for me that even when I rewatch Red vs. Blue, I still miss when he's in it.
Because so he's not acting like his.
No. He's acting, not being himself.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't know this. Like, is there like a story on it? Like
on Red vs. Blue? Yeah, there's a story on it. Some people.
It's all comedy and everyone pulling out a gun and saying, "Oh, there's that guy." Like, it's not like that.
Actually, no. Some of the first comedy is that like someone gets shot by a tank very early in season 1. So you'll see how the comedy goes. Like it's a really funny show, and they're always yelling stuff at each other.
I think I might come to enjoy it. I mean, I think a lot of Rooster Teeth followers would actually enjoy me going through the whole thing. I don't think I'll just binge it. I think I'll actually make a reaction series to it. Yeah.
Like Murderer Birds. He's doing one right now. He's on a bit of a break from doing it. I think he finished the Blood Gulch Chronicles and started getting into where Monty's in now. But yeah, Red vs. Blue has a very good story in it, and a lot. Sorry, I'm hiccuping now. A lot of people would say it's probably more in depth than Ruby's story. So.
Okay. I think it would. It's comedy related. I'll instantly love it because I love to laugh. I love to enjoy myself when watching stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. That I want to tell you a little bit about my channel. Because I don't know if anyone I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that's heard of the series that I came up with. I think it was in the Vine days. RWBY Your Mama jokes. Have you ever come across a video like this?
You know, I might have. Like you said, it was a Vine series.
Yeah. I mean,
I might have seen it on Tumblr, like a Vine posted onto Tumblr.
Okay. I basically created a show where I was trying to bring old school and modern day RWBY fans together.
Okay.
And then I made up a series of where I would make discs based on the RWBY series.
Okay.
And a lot of people loved it on Vine. I wish I could show you like the comments and stuff, but
yeah, and like I think Hunt SD does like a everything wrong with RWBY thing. Yeah, I think kind of like a Cinema Sins style. Yeah, not like critiquing. It's like Cinema Sins style. So
okay, yeah, I thought it was like a review or something.
No, unless you count Cinema Sins as a review.
I don't think it is. I think Cinema Sins is just to make you laugh.
No, yeah, it's all parody. So
I feel like if you get triggered by any Cinema Sins video, there's something wrong with you.
I mean, the whole point of it is for him to be crass and rude. So
yeah, like that's the whole point of it. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to share like at least a few with you, just in case, give you a good laugh. Let's see, what's a good one? Let's see. Your mom is so old, shopkeep is too young for her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Let's see. What's another one? I'm so sorry. I want to give you only the good ones.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your mom is cooking so bad, pumpkin peach cereal is actually healthy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, compared to that, yeah, definitely. But no, just thinking about my mom, I'm like, yeah, that's actually fairly accurate. Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you one last one.
Okay.
Okay. Your mom is so ugly. Ruby's birthday cosplay is. Wait, whoopsie. I did not just mess that up. Okay. You remember Ruby's in RWBY Chibi, her trash can cosplay, right?
Oh yeah, I remember trash can.
I said your mom is so ugly. Ruby's cosplay is her on her birthday.
Yeah.
Basically calling your mom trash.
Yeah. Inspector Who just added one. He said, "Your mama's so bad she makes Raven look good."
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that is reminding me of a Raven joke. I said, the other day. So someone I follow on Instagram, they posted a picture of like a bird's nest being abandoned by their mom. She's like, I think the mom left the eggs, and I said, wow, Raven even abandoning her kids before they're born now. And she, I was like,
Oh
man,
my god,
yeah,
that is so bad.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. So yeah, getting back on the Maria Mama joke thing, I actually wanted to ask you if you wanted to maybe do an episode with me.
yeah, dude,
Um,
totally. I'm all for collabs. So,
okay, okay. So here's what I wanted to make a proposal, not with just you, but everyone that's in the chat.
hmm
This series that I came up with is actually a collab series where I asked somebody to go one on one with me
okay,
in a Ruby Mama joke battle, and it'll be 10 jokes each. For the I actually made one season. If you want to take a look at it, it's on YouTube right now. It's in a playlist.
okay,
Where it's actually story based because I actually have a lot of Vine friends in the past that did this with me.
hmm
So now I want season 2 to be like the Vital Festival, where it would be like one person versus one person.
oh, that'd be
And
cool.
yeah, so there will be times where I'll either A, give you all the jokes that I come up with because I have like a whole book on it, or you can come up with your own, and then what we'll do is we'll have a voting poll on both Twitter and Ruby Amino, and
Okay.
the person with the most votes wins. So it's
Oh,
kind of
cool.
like it's a lot of people involved.
Also, with the iCards on YouTube, you could do polls. So people
Oh,
could
really?
even vote on the video itself. Yeah.
I didn't even know I could do that. Well,
I've done that a few times with VYTALCast. Because
the thing about this is,
Mhm.
the thing about that is, I'm a phone user. I don't know if I got that feature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm working on getting a laptop. Don't worry.
I mean, like, if you get I think if you get the YouTube Studio app, you should still be able to add a iCard, at least. So, because those are just like the little eye on the screen when you tap on it. It appears for both mobile and desktop users.
I gotta check it out because I've always looked for an option where I can get people to vote. Like that's usually how I'm trying to do my reactions now. Because you know when you're a reactor, everyone wants you to react to a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make so I wanted to make a voting poll so I could like at least make this a little fair. But since we all know that Twitter is not really it's not as social as it used to be back then.
Yeah.
Not too many people not too many people find you. So I was thinking maybe I should do it somewhere else. But if I can do this on YouTube, I think that'll be better. Because Twitter is because I got like 8 votes. Because I got like 8 votes, and I had like 4 options, and everything was,
did everything tie?
Yeah, everything tied. I was like, how am I supposed to go about this?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my gosh, I got another one for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Your mama's so fat, losing weight is harder than her unlocking her aura.
Harder than it was for Jean to unlock his aura. I mean, he was a very special case. Cool.
Yeah, he needed Pyrrha's help for that. So that's that should have made him more.
Yeah, he struggled to swing a sword. Let's be honest. Like.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That was, and what he can do now, because in Volume 4, I don't know if that was aura charge. That's what my question was for you. With Jean, he can now use his aura to amplify his attacks.
Yes.
Was that move that he did when he like did like that?
When he swung it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was aura enhanced. I would say that's safe to say that was aura enhanced. And like his semblance is able to amplify other people's auras. I think that's what makes it special, is he could apply it to someone else.
Yeah.
And also, AC Gears and Arms has posted a Yo Mama joke. He says, Yo Mama's so pale, she makes Salem look tanned.
Ouch. You know what? I got something for you, because I think that was direct to me. Hold on. This one's going to be freestyled. Hold on. You're, oh, I got it. Your mama's so ugly, she makes Salem look like fan service.
Oh, gosh. That is...
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Poor Salem.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
She wasn't cursed to look like a Grimm. The Grimm were cursed to look like her.
Ouch. Oh,
yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
I don't think Salem is necessarily ugly. It's just like she is meant to look like a monster. She's a lady that looks intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, as an animated character, she looks pretty I mean, she could look cute, you know, if you're into that sort of stuff. But
If you're into that,
yeah, I mean, I do like scene or like slightly gothic characters. I think that's why I like Blake a lot. But uh,
yeah, Blake's
yeah,
kinda fun.
see, Vera just said, I don't know, Salem's pretty good looking. Uh, yeah,
Wait,
it like
what?
yeah, no, you
I
said
want
that.
to see this cat so
Yeah,
bad.
and you know there are some
Ugh.
girls that could pull off Salem very well. You'd be surprised. Uh,
I would imagine, yeah.
yeah, and and since we're on like the topic of jokes, since you're not watching the stream, I don't think you could hear, but when people donate now, it now has like Russell Howard. He's a stand-up comedian, but it says, "Yeah, you'd like that now, wouldn't you?" And it's like part of a joke. It's part of a joke. He said one of his favorite things is hanging out with his 3-year-old nephew because he could teach the nephew things and people would never know it was him. And he's like, so I taught my 3-year-old nephew how to creepily say, "Yes, you'd like that now, wouldn't you?" And so, so now whenever his sister's trying to get her son to take a bath, she's like, "Hey, you need to go take a bath." He's like, "Yes, you'd like that now, wouldn't you?" And stuff. He just kept bringing it up throughout the thing.
I
Huh?
remember that. Yeah, I remember that scene. That's why I'm laughing so much. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, oh man, it just got stuck in my head. I'm like, I need to make this the notification so when people donate, be like, "Yes, you'd like that now, wouldn't you?" Anyway.
Are there any more? Because I can't see the chat. Are there any more your mama jokes in there? Anyone saying?
No, we haven't had any, but
Yeah, I really want I don't want this to necessarily be a trend, but just like a small little thing to like make Ruby more interesting. Like
yeah.
that's what Ruby's done for me. It's always I want to make it a joke. Like Ruby, it shows not a joke, but I want there to be more humor in it. Like you know how where Volume 1 and 2 were all about the jokes, all about
Oh
like
yeah.
the side.
I think the
Yeah,
comedy was better done in the earlier volumes. Cuz
yeah,
one
that's what got
one
me.
one thing that sticks out like a sore sight to me for volume 5 is when Yang punches that guy and how he just like Looney Tune bounces out. Uh, like I'm like
What is he made out of?
uh, I mean it stuck out so much. I almost made a video just to critique that and like say like, hey, here's why some of these earlier gag jokes, like sight jokes, like Ruby's head, like when it goes really big in volume 4 and she's laughing at Jean, here's why that works and why this other thing does not work. And like I wanted to use like post volume 3 like uh examples to basically show like, hey guys,
Why the way
it
it
can be
was?
done. Like they've done it right before. This one just doesn't work. And it was mainly because of the context of the scene with Yang and that guy. Everything was all kind of serious and like it was all serious until he bounced out. And it's like I think if you're still going for a comedic thing but still wanted it to fit the tone of the scene was to just have him go flying out in a straight line and or like even roll out, you
Yeah,
know.
like
And,
something like that. Like that right there was just like,
yeah,
are you? His bones should have been broken. He should have been back.
like you could still have him kind of rubber band just like roll backwards till he's out of the door, but also like or just like if you wanted to change it to fit better, you could have Yang and the guy behind the counter be more like cartoony, like oh haha, you know, but they weren't. So it was just like the sight gag joke just didn't fit the rest of it. And why Ruby laughing at Jean and having her head go all huge worked was because he had the rest of Team Ranger reacting to it and like Jean being all sad and like everyone's being funny. That's why that scene works, and the other scene did not work for me. And I don't know. I've been studying too much comedy stuff lately, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what Ruby is was to me at the time. It was just all built on like comedy. Like I
the
think like
comedy and
that,
the action, yeah.
yeah, that's where that's where it always hit home for me. So like I always like felt like you know what. I think there should be more joke videos out there regarding Ruby, not disrespecting the show, but to
Like Ruby
enhance.
crack jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
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 I've
it's like
seen quite a bit. Oh, Brandon Dodge just jumped in. He's like, "What didn't work?" I was talking about like a joke they made in Volume 5 and was saying like why that didn't work compared to other jokes in the past that are deemed similar to it. But yeah, there's
Yeah.
RWBY Chibi is great on the comedy. AC Gears and Arm just mentioned that, but it'd be nice to have it a little bit more back of the series, and I think that's one thing people are kind of missing from the core series is that it's getting more serious, and therefore jokes are not so common in it.
Hitting close to home like they used to. I mean, because
Well, they're not as common either.
Yeah, and most of everyone's complaint with Volume 3 is that the transition from, a lighthearted feel to a dark one is, and the cursing. So everyone was like, this isn't RWBY anymore. So a lot of people upset.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I mean, I think the show's gonna slowly mature as the characters mature, but there's still ways to like still have it funny and still keep the mature tone, and still do those laughable moments where like Ruby laughs at Jean when she sees Pumpkin Pete on his hoodie and stuff like that.
I can't get that laugh out of my head, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The day after I saw that episode, I just woke up. Dude, I literally woke up to my alarm clock with a dream in my head of Ruby's laugh. That's how, like, impactful that laugh is.
I was gonna say, I'm like, depending on the situation, that might be creepy. Like it's all dark and stuff, and you hear that little laugh, you're like, oh crap, there's a serial killer Ruby Rose in my room. Yeah.
I think that was the intention of Rooster Teeth, was to get that high pitched laugh in your head every time when something bad happens in RWBY. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm just about out of time for VYTALCast. Is there anything you want to add before we end?
Let me see. I'm gonna come up with something. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I just have a side message for like everyone that's seen me with the RWBY review videos that I've been having for the reaction. I wanted to say thank you guys for all the support that you've given me. The Murder Birds, that message that you gave the other day was very it hit me right here. It was very nice of you. And all the messages and just everyone, thank you so much for it. It was such an awesome experience. I can't wait to actually meet you people, when I get the chance.
It was just awesome to be featured in someone's video and like know about it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm in a video. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I remember like watching your video. I'm like, I'm not in it yet. But then as I was watching, I was like, wait, that's a good thing. He's going up in rank. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I really I put like I told my followers that took 3 weeks to make that top 5 video.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I felt like if I did anything in my life, I had to finish this.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to thank you guys for giving me all this inspiration to be who I am. Because like I said in the video, if it wasn't for you guys, memory probably wouldn't exist, on YouTube today.
Yeah.
Doing what I do, and that's why I told Freelancer on Twitter before. It was like I just feel like without you guys around, being yourselves and doing your own thing. I mean, of course there'll be other people in the future doing exactly what you're doing, but it was your personality, you being you, that inspired me to be who I am.
Yeah.
So so that's why I wanted to say really from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And it just sucks that I can't. And it just sucks that I can't see you, Portal.
Oh, I mean, trust me. Once I hit end stream, you'll be able to see me. Don't worry, I'll fix that. It's just the webcam could only be used by one application at a time, and it's like, oh man, that's the awkward thing about having guests on VYTALCast is I have to explain that for every new person. So
wait, you explain this situation in every episode to
before the show, I have to tell guests that. I'm like, okay, you haven't been on VYTALCast before. I only have one web camera, and OBS has to use it for people to see me on YouTube, and that means you'll be talking to a black screen unless there's Sunny on the show with us. Then you have a face to look at. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not upset about it. I mean, do you? I'm not upset about it.
Oh, there were some people that thought it was weird. They're like, okay, because they didn't quite know me yet, and they're like, okay, I feel like something shady is about to go on. It's like, no, trust me,
I'm an easily comfortable guy, so don't worry about it. I'm not butthurt about it. I'm just glad I got to speak with you.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of texting. Okay, can we make it on this date? Or can we make it on this date?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so sorry about that miscommunication. When that happened, I was like, I'm an idiot. Dude, my days have been nonstop.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. I've been working 7 days a week for so long now that like the days are blurring with me, and I'm just like, I don't know what my life is. So, like, I almost forgot Infinity War was this week. I had to be reminded on Wednesday that I had a movie yesterday, so I was like, ah. So.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally understand. Don't worry. Like with me, I work 2 jobs and I have a YouTube life. Like most people are like, how the hell do you do that?
Yeah. Like I work as a product assembly, and then I'm the head of video production at a studio, and then I do YouTube, and also have some other miscellaneous projects I do from time to time. So it's been a busy life. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a carpenter and what I do here on YouTube, and I work at Sonic. So like
Oh,
that's
cool.
so,
You're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and you work at Sonic. Okay.
oh, how did we go this whole stream without bringing up Sonic?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy being here. Literally,
Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, we can always do some other videos together and like have you on VYTALCast in a month or so. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just hit me up. Just, like, let me know when you want me to be in. I'll put in a witty quip every now and again.
totally. Totally. All right, well, I'm gonna end the stream here at an hour and 55 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again, Memory, for joining, and I will
No problem.
boop you guys next time.